Hey, what's up everyone? Good morning. Beautiful new day. A little bit of overcast, a little chilly. It was a sweater day. I'm excited about that because I don't often get to wear sweaters in Phoenix. Anyways, I read an article recently that shed some light on something. It was kind of like one of those moments, right? Where I realized the difference between setting declarations and setting resolutions, and the value of a declaration versus a resolution. So I want to talk about that for just a minute with you, because we're all used to resolutions, right? It's the new year. Right now it's December, and everybody's starting to think, oh, new year, new me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take on the world. I'm going to conquer. I'm going to do this. Is the year where, change, and this is the year, and hopefully that's true. Those are good thoughts. The trouble is, with resolutions, it's usually for a year. And that is so far out that it's overwhelming. Between now and the time we even get close to reaching our goal, most of us can't withstand the barrage of distractions that come in, that we allow into our feeds. It's a different world we live in today because we're inundated all day long with distractions, new ideas, thoughts, different, if you're in business, different platforms. Instagram's working. Try YouTube or in LinkedIn, and mining things with funnels and with email follow-ups, and build a subscriber list. And now you have to blog and try a video blog and try this and try that. All these things that work for different people may or may not work for you. But we go all year long. By the time we get to the end of the year, which is the time frame for a New Year's resolution, typically, we end up with 500 things that we did kind of. You ever felt that way? You kind of did this and you kind of did that. Month one you did this, and then you tried that, and then you shifted over here, and then you pivoted this direction, and then you took that fork in the road, and you went here and you went there. You ended up not doing any of it really well. And that, I think, is the backbone behind why New Year's resolutions don't work. They're too far out, and there's too much opportunity for distractions and for us to get us off track. Some of us have the discipline to actually do that. Speaking honestly with you, though, most of us don't have that discipline. I put myself in that boat because I have done it over and over, and I've seen it in my own life. It's a very difficult thing to stay on focus, on point, on key, all year long, and that's just a tall order. So resolutions, they're just a funny thing. We feel like we have to set them. There's kind of a peer pressure, an unspoken, gotta set your New Year's resolutions. Well, where did they even come from? Why January 1st? Well, I guess it's because it's a brand new year. So newness kind of sparks an idea in our minds, like, okay, here's a chance for some change. I'm going to press the reset button on my life. I'm going to do some new things, new year, new resolutions, right? Okay, so instead, what I want you to think of are declarations. Now, these are much more powerful. A resolution is private. You write it down in your journal, and you get to work on it. And, you might tell your wife or, your business partner or something what you're working on. The other thing we have are goals. And goals are a little bit more active, but a declaration is bold. This is what I like about declarations. You put yourself out there. You hold yourself to an accountability that you don't have if you don't put yourself out there. So a declaration is me broadcasting to a group of people. It might be on my Facebook page. It might be on, on social media platform of some sort. Maybe at home. Maybe it's in your email signature. Get creative. Where can you broadcast this? This is my intention. Here is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to do with my life for 2018. For the next 6 months, 3 months, whatever. Something a little bit more short term, but powerful. That will be a lot more effective because once you've put it out there, people notice and people ask and people say, hey, I noticed you posted that. What is it about? You're creating for yourself an environment of accountability. And it's a brave thing that you have to do. It's courageous for you to put yourself out there like that. But guess what? If you're serious about your goal and you make a declaration about it, you put it out there to the world, you Put it out. You don't hold it private. You don't light a candle and put it under a bushel, as the Bible says. You let your light so shine. In other words, I've got something that I want to achieve, that I want to do. I'm going to let people know. I'm not going to hide it and be private about it. I'm going to declare this. Declaration. How much more powerful is that? Because people will gravitate. People will ask. They'll become curious because they're not. They're going to look at you and go, oh, hey, this guy's going somewhere. He's doing something. I ought to ask about it. And naturally, they'll be curious. And even if they're not, even if, I'm completely wrong, which never happens, even if they're not, you're still putting it out there. So in your mind, you still know people are seeing it. And it increases your likelihood of you taking yourself serious with that goal or that resolution, or whatever you want to call it. It comes down to semantics. We use these different names for different things, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to achieve something. We're trying to get from point A to point B. And what is the best way to do that? I've got a system that I use that I absolutely love. Keeps me focused, keeps me from getting distracted, keeps me from becoming overwhelmed. And everybody has their own system. Some people use diaries. Some people like to write things out, long form. Some people use technology. I'm all about the apps and the convenience of technology. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're all trying to get from point A to point B. We want to go from here to here. That's my goal. Resolution, whatever you want to call it. And the principle behind it being effective is let people know. People that you wouldn't normally expect to let them know. Let them know. Call your mom. Let her know. Let your wife know, your business partner. Put it on places where people will see it. Put it on behind your desk at your office. If people walk by, they're like, hey, what's that? And you can talk about it. It keeps it top of mind. But most importantly, there's a psychological thing that happens inside your brain. Once you've put it out there, people are watching and people are listening and following. They may not even say something. I doubt that will happen. I bet people will. If you put it in enough public places, I can almost promise you people will ask. People will notice and say something. But even if they don't, you still know that they're seeing it. And that, in and of itself, is enough to keep you in this environment of accountability where you're much more likely to perform, because you don't want to look like a failure in front of people that know what you're trying to do and notice that you're actually not doing it. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyways, there's a thought for you today. Go out and achieve your goals. Think December. Use December to get yourself set up for January. Create some amazing plans, some amazing goals, and then broadcast them. Make a declaration. Put it out there. Let people know. And the best benefit of all that I haven't even talked about, maybe I should have spent more time on this, but when people know, they'll start helping. They'll start pitching in ideas, and they'll say, hey, you know what? And they'll start coming to your rescue. People will do that. People are good-natured. Generally speaking, people have good hearts and will assist you in your goal, but you have to let them know about it first. So I challenge you, don't make resolutions, make declarations. Call them resolutions if you want. I don't care. Call them goals, call them intentions, call them visions and dreams and whatever you want to call them, but declare them. Have the courage to put them out there in front of people and watch what happens. Have an awesome day.